Okay. So if you guys are up for it, let's start on our backs and grab a block. Got him for you, don't worry, right here. We're not far. Yeah. And if it's comfortable, we're going to come into what we call that heart bench or lung bench. So sit up for 1 second. I'll show you what we're going to do with these blocks. We're going to do something a little different today. So bring one block on that highest setting. The back of the head is going to go on this block. And the other one is going to be perpendicular, and our shoulder blades are going to go across that. Okay, so let's just see if that's comfortable. So kind of bring the sits bones down and then adjust that. So if you've got one block super high and one block on the middle setting, find that along the shoulder blades. And then behind the back of the head, rest that head. And then with the feet, you can come into reclined butterfly. Or maybe you've got your feet on the floor. Give yourself a moment to really adjust those blocks where they feel comfortable, where you feel like that heart is lifted. And then allow yourself time to feel the breath. It might feel kind of awkward at first breathing, but just relax and settle in. Maybe you notice even more in this shape, that 3-part breath that we explored last week. It's really noticeable when we have our chest elevated like this. You really notice that breath in that area because the block is behind the shoulder blades. And we're going to rest here, ushering in our practice in this heart bench today. You can close the eyes if that feels good. This week we have our Malasana, our garland pose. It's a really beneficial posture on a physical level for hip and ankle mobility. On an energetic level, it's very grounding as it activates the earth and the water elements. And when we feel stable, we have that food, clothing, shelter stability, then we have that ability to interact with ourselves at a safe level, interact with others. It's like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where when we have the basic necessities of life, those primal aspects fulfilled, then we can move into being out in the world safely and feel safe in our body. So Malasana is very supportive for that. Just continue with this breath. Just gently opening up the chest, even the back of the body here on these blocks. Let's give ourselves one more breath in and let it go. Now let's gently kind of lift the head as we draw those elbows in. So we can lean onto one elbow, lift the back of the head, bring the feet to the floor, and slide those blocks out from underneath the back of the body, and then find ourselves on the floor. The back on the earth, then you arrange it with those feet. And now drop into this sensation of this chest, shoulders, hips, all on the earth. There's no rush. Now exhale. Bring those feet to the floor if they're not there already. Find that block again. Let's press those feet into the ground, drag the hips up by activating the glutes, and then slide the block underneath that sacrum. And then shimmy those shoulder blades exactly into that spot that feels comfortable in the shoulder blades. And now we're lifting those hips up a little higher than the heart and shoulders. Any arrangement with the palms, it can be palms up at the side of the body, palms down, resting on the floor, up overhead if you want. And now drop into that low spine, that low vertebra, that sacrum. And rest the hips here. And now maybe noticing that 3-part breath perhaps might be more noticeable in the belly this time. And it kind of drops into the chest, into the heart. And soften your gaze. Now let's exhale. Press the feet into the floor. Lift the sits bones up. Find both of those blocks now and kind of bring them towards where your feet would be, just towards the end of the mat, and bring your feet onto those blocks. So both feet just rest on the blocks, hips on the floor, back on the floor, shoulder blades on the floor. And you might feel a little bit more weight on the hips here with those feet elevated just a few inches. But the hips are grounded here in this moment, not on those blocks. Allowing our body to absorb these nuances of movement, these nuances of surrender. Really nice job, you guys. Now let's exhale to bring those feet to the floor. Just kind of slide those blocks to one side of the mat. Bring those legs nice and long. And here we are in our shavasana. Maybe you need to lift those hips and reposition the sits bones, reposition those shoulder blades as you bring your body onto the earth. If you have an intention for your practice today, just bring that into your space. We'll sit with this intention for a few breaths. Now let's chant Om together one time. We let out a breath, sigh, feel that connection with the earth at the back of the body. Let's inhale, exhale, sigh. Inhale for Om. Om. Now from here, let's bring that right foot to the earth, point flex the left foot, and then hug that right knee into the chest, a little Forearm Tadasana, a wind releasing pose. And just allowing ourselves to arrive in a kind of a position of effort for the first time this morning, maybe, with our own body kind of supporting us versus the block. You can hug that knee side to side. And then let's exhale to let that knee come across the body. If you want, bring that block up towards the left side of the mat. Bring your right knee over the body onto a block or onto the floor. Any level of block, even if you can bring your knee low, maybe see what it feels like on a high level of block. Arm out like a T if you want, or past the head like a Y, or up over the shoulder, kind of what we did in Yin last week. Just that arrangement of the arm, giving a full range of motion for the shoulder joint. Let's breathe in once more. And we'll exhale, let the exhale bring us back to the back body, the knee to the chest. And then exhale, swap out the legs, the right leg long and left knee into the chest. Tuck that left knee in. Maybe sway it side to side, a gentle rock. Breathe. And then as you're ready, let's bring that left knee across the body to the right, maybe to a block, maybe to the floor, maybe it just hovers over the earth. That left arm any position that might feel nice, giving some range to that shoulder. Now exhale, bring that knee in, back to the chest. You got it, guys. Bring that right knee in, both knees in towards the chest. And then maybe we find a happy baby, bringing the hands to the outside of the foot, maybe towards the big toe. And maybe those feet, the soles are parallel with the ceiling. You can also extend the legs long. The legs be long, or you can offer a bend in the knee. Maybe do both and give yourself some time in each one and just notice kind of where you need to feel the stretch, the opening today. It's a little bit different with the legs straight or with the knees bent. There's no better or worse. It's just what needs your body has today. Maybe add a gentle rock if you want. Now, as you're ready, bring those feet to the floor. Bring them mat distance apart. Maybe let the knees fall in together. And we'll bring the arms up overhead. Maybe bring the hands together. Flip the palms towards that wall behind you. That might seem kind of tricky. But just bring those palms to interlace. Flip the palms out. Or the hands to interlace the palms out. Then maybe add a side bend. Kind of bringing the shoulders and the hands towards the upper right corner of the mat. And maybe shimmy over to the left side of the mat. A supine side body opener. And then bring the hands back to the middle. And then exhale, let's float those palms across the ceiling towards the ground. Breathe in. Good. Now exhale, let's roll over to one side gently with awareness, with control. And then we're going to come up to our tabletop. And once you get to that tabletop, shimmy around, find the downward facing dog. Maybe find a puppy. We'll meet in our table in a few breaths. You guys know the drill. Offer yourself kind of a stretch. You need to lengthen out a little bit. And then let's be sure those blocks are at the front of the mat, so we're not looking for them in no man's land a little later. Get those blocks towards the front. And now let's find our table together, a collective tabletop. Breathe in. Exhale, feel that spine nice and neutral. And let's inhale to bring that right arm forward. And on your next inhale, bring that left leg back. Flex the foot towards the face. That heel is reaching for the back wall. The fingertips reaching for the front wall. Let's inhale to bring that arm out like a T. And now exhale, bring that hand underneath the shoulder, right behind ground. So both hands are on the floor again. And now softly bend those elbows, lowering that heart to the floor, the nose to the floor, I should say, the heart at an angle. Then exhale to press up. And now exhale to round that knee to the chest, rounding the spine. Inhale, bring that left leg back. Your next inhale, bring that right arm forward. Out like a T. Round the right hand. And then exhale, lower down, nose to the floor. Exhale, press it up. And now curl the toes, that right foot under, and find a three-legged downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, left leg to the sky. And now in this three-legged downward facing dog, draw that left knee into the chest, as best you can, and then extend it long towards the sky. And then exhale that knee to the chest. Then inhale towards the sky. And now we'll inhale up to plank, 3-point plank, that left leg still hovers. Yeah, and now lower that right knee down. Now bring the left knee to meet the right. Sit back in child's pose. Exhale. Breathe in and out. And now let's look up at the hands. Walk the hands over to the right side of the body. Maybe the hands are off the mat onto the floor. Press those hands into the earth. If you're feeling that stretch on the left side of the lats, the left shoulder, the left armpit, breathe in. And exhale, bring it back to the middle. Inhale up to table. Now we'll inhale, send that right leg back. Inhale, send the left arm forward. Pause. The left arm comes out to the side. Yep. And bring that arm forward. Exhale, knee to elbow, round into the spine. Send the right leg back, ground that left hand. Let's bend the elbows, lower that nose to the floor. Pause at the bottom. Exhale, pressing up. Yeah. Inhale, left arm forward. And out to the side. Bring that left hand to the earth. Bend the elbows, lower that nose to the floor. Now press it up. And here in this 3-point table, curl the toes under. Exhale, up and back to downward facing dog. Eka Pada Uttanasana. One-footed downward facing dog. We've got 3, but we call it one-footed. Eka is one. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Inhale. Let's exhale, draw that knee to the chest and our downward facing dog. Then inhale, extend that leg long. Our next inhale brings us up to plank for 3-point plank. Pause in this 3-point plank. We're going to arrange those hands if you need to walk them forward or back. And now lower down that left knee. Lower down the right knee. Sit back, Malasana and child pose. Breathing in and out. Warming up the spine here with our sunbird, with our downward facing dog variations. And now inhale, we'll look up at those hands and walk those hands to the left off the mat. Maybe that right hand stacks on the left hand or it's just off the side. You can press those hands into the floor and feel the lats rebound, shoulders, breathing in and out. Inhale, bring those hands forward. Now exhale, back to table. Breathe in. Now let's exhale, bring that right elbow towards the right, or the right knee to the right elbow. And then that knee over to the left elbow. And then over to the right elbow. Then extend that leg back, nice and straight in line with the hip. Then exhale that knee to the right elbow, knee to the left elbow, back to the right elbow, and then extend it long behind you. Let's pause with that leg extended. Keep the hips square to the earth. Let's inhale, bring that left arm forward. And pause. Breathe in. Now exhale to bring that right knee to the ground. The left arm is forward. Let's curl the toes. Find our downward facing dog. Bring that left hand towards that right hip. So Eka Pada Uttanasana. 3-legged downward facing dog with one hand. Breathe in now. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's rock forward to plank if you can with one hand. That left arm can be on the hip or it can be behind the back. Breathe in and out. Now with control, lower down the knees, 3-point table, and then bring that left hand to the floor, walking hands forward for puppy pose, Tadasana. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's lower down those elbows to the floor. The palms are flat. Get some relief to the wrists here as we come into our dolphin pose, curling the toes under. Ardha Pincha Mayurasana, our half peacock pose. So dolphin, hips to the sky. We'll pause here for a few breaths. Warming up maybe the core a little bit. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer to the hands and you think you can. Offer a bend in the knees. Moving in and out. One more breath in. Now exhale, lower down the knees. Maybe you walk those knees back under the hips. And then bring those hands under the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale, send the left leg back. And then we'll exhale to bring that left knee to the left elbow. And then over to the right elbow. Over to the left. And extend that left leg back. Draw that knee into the left elbow, over to the right, over to the left, and then extend it back again. Last time, towards the left, towards the right elbow, to the left, extend it back. And now find that breath and draw that right arm forward. We'll pause here for sunbird. Keep those hips square to be. Notice you might be dropping that low back and tuck the pelvis. Keep ourselves honest. The back is neutral. Breathe in. Now let's exhale to lower down that left knee. That right arm is forward. Let's activate that torso. And now we curl the toes under. Reach those sit bones to the sky. Draw that right hand towards the left hip. Ekapada Ardha Vishwanasana. Good, guys. That right hand can also be on the shin too. Anywhere along that left side of the body, really. We want to integrate those hemispheres of the brain by cross-patterning our limbs, breathing in and out here. Exhale. Inhale. You bring that hand to the low back if you want. Now on an inhale, we're going to rock it forward to a 3-point plank. That right hand is off the ground if you can. If not, just ground that right hand. Be here for a couple breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. And in and out. And now one more breath. And now let's exhale, lower down the knees. Bring those hands to the earth. And then bring those hands forward for our puppy pose. Breathing in and out in our puppy. And in and out. Now inhale, look up at those hands. Just slide those hands towards the knees and then step both feet forward, coming into your forward fold. Uttanasana. Finally, off those wrists, off those hands, grounding the feet. Maybe sway side to side. Bringing those hands to the right side of the mat. And then those hands can walk across the middle over to the left side of the mat. Bend those knees as generously as you want. Okay? If you bend the knees a little bit, you might notice more in the hamstrings. Breathing over and over as we move those hands. Now here, let's bend the knees a lot or a little as we rise up to mountain pose. And let's take our time getting there, up to mountain. Maybe you shimmy along the way. Nice job, guys. Let's pause. Interlace those hands and press those palms in front of the heart. And then draw those arms up overhead. You got it. Exhale over to the right, a side bend. Maybe dropping those hips, kind of exaggerating over to the left to really open that left side of the body. And then over through the middle to the left. Inhale, arms up overhead. And then exhale to drop those hands to the side. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, uttanasana. Yeah, breathe in and out. Now let's inhale to step that left foot back and pivot that foot towards the long edge. And let's bend that right knee and rise up into our Virabhadrasana 2. You can reach that left arm behind you and that right arm forward. Yeah. Let's warm up here by bringing some dynamic movement, by bending that knee a lot and then straightening that leg, arms come overhead. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Yep, you got it. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, bring those arms up and pause at the top. Exhale, bring those hands in front of the heart. And then open those arms out and look over that front right hand. Yeah. Exhale that left hand down that left leg, right arm to sky. Pause. Breathe in and out. Now exhale back to Virabhadrasana 2. Now we're going to turn towards the opposite side of the mat. So pivot the right foot towards the long edge, and then the left foot towards the short edge. You're nowhere facing the back. That's okay. Bend that left knee, Virabhadrasana 2. And that same thing on the other side. So inhale, straighten, bring palms overhead. And then exhale, open up to Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, straighten that leg, palms meet overhead. Exhale, open to Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, straighten. Yes, exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale. Good, guys. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Now pause. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten that leg. Bring that right hand on that right leg, the left arm to sky. And now exhale, open up the arms. Bend that left knee. Good. Now bring those hands to the hip. Pivot the feet towards the long edge. Yep. So both feet face the long edge. And now let's fold forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Like heart forward, tilting that pelvis. Maybe you bring hands towards the earth. And then once you get those hands to the earth, maybe you walk the hands over to that right foot. And you can walk them through the middle over to the left foot. So we did this in our standing, our uttanasana. Now we're doing it in our prasarita padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold, and those feet close together, forward fold. Walk the hands from side to side, maybe. And then over to the left, to the right. And now bring those hands to the middle. Let's point those toes towards the corners of the mat. And now dropping those hips, lifting the heart, shoulders come over the hips. Goddess pose. Utthakata Konasana. You got it. Nice, guys. Open up like a T with those arms. Yeah, exhale, bring that right hand in front of that right thigh. And bring the left arm to sky. Inhale back to the middle. And now let's bring awareness to the knees. Make sure those knees are kind of tracking towards the pinky edge of the foot. That's going to engage your adductors. Those are those muscles on the inner thigh. So if the knees are kind of caving in, try to activate the inner thigh to push those knees to the side towards this pinky edge of the foot. Does that make sense? Exhale, left hand in front of that left thigh, right arm to sky. Keep those knees, those muscles activating those knees to the right side of the foot, or the left, the pinky edge. Exhale, pinch them through. Right hand in front of the right thigh. And then left hand in front of that left thigh. Yes. Now inhale up, arms out like a T, straighten those legs. Exhale. Exhale, hands to the hips. Yep. Let's heel toe those feet a little bit closer than they were a moment ago. Towards the toes out. And bend those knees slightly, just a little, not a lot. And then straighten. And bend just a little bit. The knees, yeah, and then straighten the knees. Now pivot the feet towards the front, but step it forward. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, forward to Uttanasana. Now here, walk those hands to the right. Walk those hands to the left. And now bring those feet maybe a little bit closer than they are right now. Cross the right foot in front of the left. Bend the knees a lot and fold forward, Uttanasana. Exhale, bring that foot back to normal. So the feet are side by side. Bring the hands behind the back and then reach the interlaced hands towards the ceiling. Opening up the front of the chest. And then bring those hands to the base of the spine. And now release those hands in front of us. Cross the left foot in front of the right. And then fold forward. Exhale. Inhale. And uncross those feet. Bring those feet about mat distance apart, maybe hip distance apart. Point the toes outward. And now let's exhale, drop down to Malasana. Yeah. Let's lift the heart. Bring those hands to prayer if you want. Elbows pressing into the knees. We close the eyes. And now this is definitely known as an asana for the hips, but it's also amazing for your ankle mobility. This takes a lot of what we call dorsiflexion. So maybe give awareness to those ankles. Lift those toes off the ground and feel that on the top of the foot, kind of here in the front of that ankle. I don't know if you feel that with those toes flexed, and now relax the toes. Lift those toes off the ground. And now lower those toes. Now bring those hands down and exhale up to your uttanasana. Yeah. Breathe in. Now bring those peace fingers to the big toe, just like we do in Happy Baby. So the peace fingers are on the big toe. Now exhale, drop down in Malasana. Keep the elbows on the inside of the knees. Breathe in. And then exhale up to Uttanasana. Breathe in. Exhale down, Malasana. Lifting the heart of the chest. Yeah. Exhale, Uttanasana. Exhale down, Malasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Now last time, Malasana. Drop those hips, lifting the heart. Now pull up on those big toes with those fingers. You have a heart open. Maybe where the pecs, the outer pecs. Breathe in. And now exhale, release the toes. Bring those hands behind us. We're going to walk out the hands, coming into reverse plank. Let those legs come long, point the toes, relieving that dorsiflexion. Lifting the hips, lifting the heart. Sigh, let it go. The head drop back, maybe. Breathe in. And out. Now let's exhale to lower down the sits bones. Let those feet come back to kind of neutral. Now bring that left forearm to the ground. Roll over to the left side. Reach that right arm to sky or to the hip for a forearm side plank. Breathe in. Now let's exhale to drop that left hand or left hip to the floor and then lift it back up. Do that 2 more times. Lower that left hip down and then draw the hip up and then lower that hip down. And we'll inhale to draw it up. Yeah, now last time lower that hip. We'll exhale to seated, lifting our shoulders over the hips. Breathe in. Pause. Now we'll exhale to bring that left hand kind of behind, or the right hand behind us. And then lower down onto the forearm. Bring that arm out, and we'll come into that forearm plank on the other side. So lifting those hips up, finding the stability and the steadiness, that left hand on the hip or over the head. And then we'll lower that right hip down. And then draw it up. Lower that hip down. Draw that hip up. And then lower the hip down. Draw that hip up. Pause. And then lower the hip down. And exhale to roll over onto the sits bones. Come to seated. Inhale, arms up overhead. Flex the feet towards the face. And now let's fold it forward. Posture uttanasana. Maybe here, you bend those knees a lot so the chest can meet the thighs. Pull on those feet. Maybe you're pulling ankles. And maybe you feel that along our extensors, your erector spinae, along the side of the spine. Mid back, lower back. Breathing in and out. Exhale. Inhale to lift the shoulders, lift the chest, extend those legs long. And now bring hands to the side or over to one side. Sweep the legs behind you. Then come back to our table. In your table, stretch out the right leg and then stretch out the left. Just doing a couple of those, reaching with the foot, reaching with the leg. And as you're ready, come onto those forearms, planting the palms, planting the elbows, the forearms, curl our toes under, and exhale up to dolphin. Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. Breathe in. And now pause here, grounding the feet. And let's inhale to bring that right leg to sky. And exhale to draw that right knee into the chest. And then extend that right leg long. Draw that right knee into the chest. And then extend it high to the sky. Draw it in one more time. And now from here, straighten the arms, lift the forearms off the ground, coming into downward facing dog. Right knees into the chest. Work it be long. And now extend that right leg long. And then let's step it through to the front of the mat. Bring that left heel down. Point those toes towards the long edge. So it's not a Virabhadrasana 2 foot. This is kind of your warrior 1 foot. And then we'll inhale to rise up. And here we are, Virabhadrasana 1. From here, press that left heel into the floor. And maybe you feel in those hip flexors. Breathe in. Exhale, bring those arms down. Reach them behind the back. Just reach behind. Inhale up overhead. Bring those palms together. Maybe you press the thumb and the pinky together. That's the serratus anterior muscles. Inhale. Exhale, draw the hand in front of the heart. Now exhale, bring those hands behind the back. Interlace those palms. Reach towards that heel. And let's exhale, folding forward. Namabad, Hasta, Virabhadrasana, Humble Warrior. Inhale it. Rest right here. Now inhale, lift up the shoulders, chest. Let's release the hands, kind of towards the thigh, let the shoulders relax. Now bring those hands to the thigh, maybe give the shoulders a rest, and then we'll inhale up. Really press that heel into that left heel into the floor. Now bring those hands in front of the heart. Good, guys. Exhale, step it forward, bring that left foot forward, round the feet nice and wide. And then we'll drop down into Malasana. Breathe in. Let's exhale, bring that left hand towards the floor, the right hand to the sky. Now from here, let's bring that right hand behind the head. Then exhale to tap that right elbow towards that left inside the elbow. Yep, and then open up to the sky, the clamshell, that shoulder, over the elbow. Bring the elbow to the elbow, open up. And then the elbow towards the elbow. Yes, bring the elbow up to sky. Now extend that right arm long. And exhale, bring the hands in front of the body. Exhale, sigh. Plant those hands, draw those hips to sky. Uttanasana. Let's inhale back to plank pose. Stepping one foot back and another. Find your plank. Malasana. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's exhale, lower down. Tadasana. Inhale forward, Mukha Svanasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now lower the forearms, lower the elbows. Ardha Kancha Mayurasana. Get grounded. And then draw that left foot to sky. And maybe bend the knee and draw the knee to the chest. And then extend it long. Draw that knee into the chest. And extend it long. And now let's inhale to straighten those arms, lifting arms for the forearms and elbows off the earth. Left foot is lifted. And then inhale to draw that foot between the hands. And we'll lower that right toe to the ground. And as you feel the base of your feet, get that foundation set, we'll rise up our Virabhadrasana 1. You let the arms float down as you ground that heel. Inhale back up. Thumb and pinky meet. Press into each other maybe. Now exhale, bring those hands in front of the heart. Nice job, guys. Exhale, bring the hands behind the back. Reach the fist towards the heel. As you're ready, exhale. Humble warrior, dropping that chest with control. Exhale, lower the hands towards the base of the spine, the low back. Inhale to lift the heart and the chest, pressing that left foot into the ground. Now let's release the hands. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale in front of that heart. And now step that right foot forward, keep the left. Now in pose, wiggle out the legs. Point those toes towards the corners of the mat, and then as you're ready, we'll come into Malasana. You bring those elbows into those knees. Then bring that right hand towards the earth, that left arm to sky. Exhale the left hand behind the hip. And this is our thoracic mobility. Exhale the left elbow towards that right bicep, that right elbow. Inhale, open. Yep, elbow to elbow. Keep those knees out, activating those inner thighs to keep so the knees don't cave in. You got it, guys. Next time that left elbow meets the sky, extend the arm nice and long. Yes, now bring the hands together in prayer from the heart. Breathe in. And now let's exhale, bring the hands in front of the body. Option to come into your crow pose by shifting the weight. So bring those hands to the earth. Shift the weight onto the balls of the feet. Bring the weight into the hands. All fingertips, palms. And then lift those hips slightly. The knees or the kind of leg towards the thighs on those elbows. The triceps are like a shell. You can float forward and bring those toes together. And that center of gravity is in the hips. So keeping the hips in balance, not too far forward. A nice way to practice our crow is to bring the blocks under the feet. And just to kind of practice the blocks on the feet, just kind of rocking forward and feeling that sensation of the hips higher than the shoulders. So walking those toes back on the blocks as you kind of find that center of gravity. And arm balances is all about center of gravity. And it's all different depending on our own makeup. And let's exhale to bring those toes to the earth. Move any props out of the way. And then let's exhale to uttanasana. And then inhale to Tadasana. Up, up, up. Standing tall. And then exhale, hands in front of the heart. Breathing in. Exhale. Let's exhale to forward fold. Exhale to downward facing dog. Whew. Now inhale, looking up at that right wrist, draw the right knee towards the wrist and lower down into our cup, uttanasana, pigeon. The knees can come down. You can bring a block underneath that right hip. And bring a block underneath the hands. And maybe here we bring in that 4-count breath, that for 3-part breath. Either one or both. Notice the beating of the heart in the chest. Notice the breath. One more breath here at our pigeon. And now let's exhale to bring the hands to the floor if they're not there already, kind of in front of that shin. And now drop over arm to the right sit bone. And then send that left leg out. And we're going to come into Or don't use your shanthi. So swing that left leg over. Now let's inhale to bring those arms overhead. Exhale to bring the heart towards that left foot. And we fold over that long left leg. Let the hands come to the knee or the thigh, the shin, the foot, the palm to the floor. One more breath in. And exhale to lift the head. Bring those hands back towards the foot, towards the midline. And bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring hands to the heart. And now we're going to turn and face the back of our mat as we draw that left foot to bend. So bend the left leg. Swing the right leg out and just swing that leg behind you, reaching for the front of the mat, and then that left knee to the ground like shin, and then drop the hip over the heel this time. The left knee is bent. Yep. And then come down on the forearms, onto blocks, any expression of your pigeon. One more breath in. Exhale to lift the head, connect the hands, lifting the chest and the heart. And now drop that left sit bone to the ground. And sway over onto the sits bones, our right leg out, the left foot stays where it is. You bring it into the thigh. And then draw the arms up overhead. Exhale to bring the heart in line with the big toe of the right foot and fold over the right leg. And hands on the shin, maybe the foot. Now exhale to lift the heart, lift the shoulders, bring those hands towards the foot, towards the midline, bring the chest kind of over to the middle, over the hips. And then as you're ready, make your way to your back, any way that makes sense, any direction on the mat. Let that back come flat on the floor. And then maybe you want to draw the knees into the chest, or you want to come into a reclined butterfly with the feet together and the knees wide before we come into Shavasana together. Any movement, anything else you need for your practice before your Shavasana. Letting those palms, arms, feet, soles of the feet, jaw, relax.
Point and flex the feet a few times. Moving the feet side to side to get some mobility in those ankles. A lot of effort on those ankles today. Small hinges move big doors. Lots of attention necessary for those joints. Give yourself a thank you for carving out the time for your practice today. And as you're ready, come to seated. And see if you can ground into the hips, into the sits bones. Feel the chest maybe a little lighter than it was 45 or so minutes ago. Let's close together, guys. Breathing in and sigh. Breathe in again. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Namaste, Dorothy.